no mistakes on this planet. If it wasn't working, this wasn't working, that wasn't working, means the perfection of life wasn't. Perfection sometimes needs that this will happen, that will happen, things will go as if wrong. But if that's what is happened and that's what is happening, then it is the perfect choice. It is the perfect answer to everything. Even if it is COVID and death, we try to avoid it. But if that's what happens, then that's the perfect thing that is needed for our spiritual development. One, most people are never ever going to be asking about God or be maybe a surface level. Okay, what is it? And it will be sort of looking down at you. Most of it might be looking down at you, because if you are in a workplace and you like, oh, I believe in God, um, then most of the people try really hard to be agnostic, to be, no, I don't believe in a God. And they think that if you believe in a God, you are a feudal, or you are a simpleton, because you believe in a God. You believe in that something which no one, most people, it's just not cool. Why would you do believe and even acknowledge something which is not cool? All the religious people, look, in states, I was in some office, and I just said, yeah, I do believe. I'm like, I have two children, I have this, I believe in the mystery of God. I did not get my children because I had sex with my wife. I was blessed with children, so yeah, I do. And the and the people around me every day would start ringing. Look at this pastor in America, he's fooling his picture. Look at this on the YouTube, he's asking his people to collect money for a plane and this and that. And it became like sort of an agitation, sort of, we must prove what a fool you are. So most people are not even going to be acknowledging that there is a God or something magical on the planet. People are very, there was a big bang and the universe started from there and it's been expanding, and the scientists are, yes, but who did the big bang? Someone did it. No, life is random. No, life is not random. Every day there is a sun, then it goes down. There is a there is no chaos in the system, because that's what people are trying to say. There is no law, there is no order. There is complete chaos, and you take ownership of your life, and then you are really cool guy, because you own yourself, you own your life, which is true. But it does not negate out. You may have to, even just by acknowledging the fact that you believe in a higher power, you're going to look stupid. And who can risk that? Who can risk that? That you're surrounded by, and especially I work in IT, so IT people are somehow, it's because if you understand how computers work, means that you can't understand, you can't believe in a God. How? Why? Electricity goes to a potential from 0 to 1. That's how the flow of so there is at some point in the universe, and it's considered to be, at center is considered to be in infinity, from the electrons are flowing to and fro, and that creates a positive. And who is sitting in the center of the universe? It's at infinity. Isn't the infinity another name for God? Because whatever our mind cannot grasp, we call it infinity, and God is infinite love. But everyone understands love means, oh, sucks. So we get stuck with the body part. Okay. Why? And that's why most people are so really down nowadays, because your thinking is, I am a biological person with very active biological parts, and my happiness in making these parts happy, and then most people live for that. And if they get children, then it's really didn't plan it, they were just having sex with you. And then the society sells this picture, if you are want happiness, then there's a round table, the mama, papa, and two children. And there are even like fake families which have come up, like my children, your children, our children, all living together, and it must be harmony, and this must be, and I must be the father figure and the mother figure, and this. And people have created these families which are sort of clumped together. And people are together not out of love, not even out of duty, which is still, but because they have in this mind, if I was to be alone, then people will look down at me. Maybe they will, and maybe they will not. But it's your decision. We have given the control of our life to the people and the images of happiness that they have created. So today's lecture is understanding God, becoming aware of the grace. If you did not have the grace of the God, I guarantee you, I swear, you would not be listening to these words that are being spoken through my mouth. If you did not have the grace, the others are awaiting their grace. Because without the grace, this burning desire that I want to understand, I want to know what is God, who is God, so that I can live my life better. And to live your life better, you have to first admit the way the world is living is not right. If you think that the word getting up, going to the office 8 hours every day in an artificial environment where people you're going to be having a manager, most people are desperate for a job. When we get a job, then we find someone is a manager and you have to meet his or her expert. You have to pretend, yes, you're right, yes, you're right, yes, you're right. Even if, oh my God, you have a stomach ache, but it smells like a Dior or Sauvage or some good, you're really great. So it comes to that. But, and the stress of living in that 8 hours of that office environment where things are artificially created, someone is greater, someone is less, and you do it all for money. If you're doing it for money, then it's even worse, because out of the 12 hours, 60% you have spent in making money that you think will bring you happiness, then make you, and it gives you some thingies you can buy, some thingies you can buy. But are those things happiness? And you know it, it's not. So, but that's what people cannot imagine, that, oh, you can be happy, you can be joyous without all that struggle. And it doesn't mean that you don't go to the office. You go to the office as a sense of duty. Then the dynamics is different. You go to an office as if you're going to a church. In a church, you're not expecting to be eating cakes and having a good time. You're expecting maybe even a private small hell. And you go through that hell, which is, after, it's only in your mind, like there are 4 or 5 people who can, what is hell like, they can say, you are stupid, you did not do this job, no, I want this document or that to be, or I want this to be, or if I had been over there, I would have handled this call like this, or I would have handled the client, or I would have. That's what the managers can do or say, like most of them. So you go to an office, you will get all these vibrations, people talking, people looking at you like this, people looking at you with love, people looking, whatever. But deep inside, when you know that you are in a church, and you are in a blessed church, because so many people have lost jobs, you are in a church where you are working honestly, and with your honestly earned money, you spend it to fulfill the requirements of the society. Your taxes are paid. You're already self-realized, especially in North America, 35, 45, 50%. I'm paying right now around 50% in Quebec. And I'm good, because the 50% goes so that there are very few people on the streets. Well, even if there was someone on the street, they die very quickly in Quebec. But that's the point, that with your honest work, you're supporting the society, so your debt is paid off. Then only you can be self-realized. then only the grace of God is starting to flow through. We don't have people in this group who have managed somehow to steal a lot of money. Or maybe we have, but they have a guilty conscience and now they will just want to settle down. It's okay. Money can be a blessing, money can also be a curse. Sometimes with the wrongly earned money, the children go bad, you never get happy, and then you are a living lesson for others. Oh, you can have a palace, but if the money was not rightly earned, then that palace is going to be accompanied with different side effects. So today's lesson is understanding God, and the first thing that happens is you have to acknowledge the grace of God. Otherwise, you will not be hearing the following communication, the clarity which is flowing through me, and the heart inside you, which is pining, which is desperate, like a lover. Think of the best porn movie that you have seen, and think of the actors or actresses or whatever, or think of the Romeo Juliet and the passion. With that amount of passion, you want the clarity of God. And that is happening, and that's why you're listening. Passion, desperate. It's like the love of Isolde and Tristan. Isolde and Tristan loved, and he has to go off into a war, and he stands and he's given an option. He dies and he's given an option. Either you can meet your loved one, maybe for 3 seconds, but you'll just be able to say, just see her for once. But in order to do that, you will have centuries of cold hell. And he says, I love so desperately. I want those 3 seconds. After that, it's okay if I am in whatever. I want to see her. That is the desperation that you already have. Otherwise, they are on a Wednesday, 9 o'clock. There are thousands and millions of things that are happening on the planet. The internet is happening, the Netflix is happening, the YouTube is happening, this is happening, that is happening. And you're still on this channel. So the first thing is, we all have the grace flowing through ourselves. Sometimes people are not able to log in. Okay. So the grace, feel the grace, that thirst, that desperation that you want that clarity. Just feel it. It's subtle, and 110% it is there. Because you see what's happening. COVID is a blessing of God that is making us see the reality. That we are working from home, and more Netflix, more and more people are investing. I know of investors. They always have some people like Buffett, who are supposed to be the good investor. They used to study, okay, this factory is producing this goods, this is their balance sheet, and this is the how they're traded, and they would make out from, they had a formula where 10 years of profit should be how much it should be, what should be the cost, and what is the price of the trading shares, and they will calculate this. So the 10 years or 10 to 11 years of profits versus what is, and then if there's a difference, they will buy it or they won't buy it. That was the simple. But now things are not priced as the value. Understand, we are living in a society where things are happening without a value, and it reflected in people's actions. And most of the time it is, even before this YouTube ad, even for 2 seconds, where 2 minutes there, oh, to sell to Amazon, I just made $2,000. I didn't even buy anything. I did this, etc. $2,000 in 2 minutes I made. And you end up, if your primal factor in life is money, 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 which is everywhere, then you start thinking, oh my God, 2,000 in 2 minutes. Why is this person so blessed? That person, I promise you, is cursed and is an actor. A couple of you are actors and you think that I don't like actors. No, actors are good, but it's a fake word, and you have a double fake. And that actor is saying, I just made $2,000 in 2 minutes, and you also do the same, and you invest with me, etc. Because people are getting this money from the government. They don't know what to do. It is not hard earned money. So people decide in foolish ways. I'm going to invest, and as if money is like a seed, you put it over out there, and then you wait and you dance around it, you're living away, and then it sprouts into a money tree. We Indians have got like in every Indian home in the middle class, there is a small tree. It is called money plant. The English called it, and it caught on, and it's now a superstitious thing that you must have a money plant in home if you are well to do. It's only the bourgeois, the middle class. The upper class are free from all this stupidity. They create their own stupidity. The lower class don't have the money to buy the money plant. But that's the feeling that I'll have that money and it will grow. I will watch it. And people start investing as if they know something about these companies. And right now, there is no value system. So there is nothing. For example, cryptocurrencies are $100, and now they are selling for 60,000. I am an IT expert. I will tell you, all the ransomware asks for money in cryptocurrency because it is very deeply supported by the drug industry and by the criminal industry. Why? Even, and maybe I'm really not perfect. Like, I'll have a lot of sexual thoughts, etc. I'm very incomplete. I've never had that bliss of closed eyes that will replace all my sexual urges, etc. I can get angry with my wife and this, etc. But when I'm trying to be a servant to you and make you understand your own divinity, in those 3 seconds, I am whatever and whoever you are. We are at the same level. But all other instances, I go through and even have that. So maybe I would have bought crypto currency, but look at it. It is dealing with drugs and mafia. And even I can guarantee, even if it was to become 100,000, and you have made your money by dealing with these and supporting these, there's no way that money will bring you happiness. It is impossible. As it is, money does not bring anyone happiness. It does not. It can only give you comfort, unless you're in the Indian zone where your full family is dying of hunger, etc. And that's 2% of the population, and that's a different play. You're not in that level. So even if you had millions, and it is because of connecting legally through these criminal elements, your whole life will be tainted. You will not be blessed to have this communication, right? And this communication is much more than that. It's worth millions, because this communication will give you a peace of mind along with an acknowledgement. Yes, you're perfect. You did not participate in that dirty money. You're perfect. You're blessed. You are unique. You're good. Yeah. This is not, this is spiritual abundance. It is absolutely anti money, especially money, dishonest money. Honest money is good. Dishonest money is, uh, it may look like, oh, it's so easy. I meet with people who say, oh, we bought 10 apartments, really good. 200,000 it costed. Now we have 2 million. And the person is having borderline crisis of everything, really depressed, because out of 10, two of these people who are being rented to, they look upon this person as a spider, just collecting money and not doing anything. They hate her, and she feels that she feels that hatred. And there are court cases now, and the person, two of them out of 10, 2% in this is in Montreal and in Vancouver, they smoke, because they're living in this small apartment. They smoke 10 out of 2 out of 10, and they create all those issues, and they have given court cases. And one case, I just said, give to that person money to just move away. Forget about everything. Have the peace of mind. Don't look at money, because you are now borderline cancerous, because all that stress. So money, we think that we will just sit and watch it. It's a curse. Waking up and doing your duty for others, supporting the society, not becoming all that. Oh, as someone I know who works for the office, oh, I know a person who is like a yoga teacher. Oh, yoga teacher, etc., have got like really good sponsors, like rich sponsors. and they feel that they have not contributed to the society. I've seen yoga teachers holding a glass of cappuccino and saying, "Oh, yes, yes, please do the asana like this or do this, breathe rightly, yes, 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 and drinking. It's like crazy. And good looking guy. So people have their own, so the thing is, right now the society is dealing in things for which there is no price, and the price is set by prestige. A car that you buy is just an electric car, especially, it's just prestige value. It's just prestige value. You save some few cents on the gas pump, and you are spending more on those batteries. They take more out of the earth. It needs more rare earth elements, etc. So there's more exploitation of the mother earth and all that. So everything has got a side effect. But when the people want to sell you something, they'll give it as, this is what's going to be making money. Every day on the news there is, this stock market will go up like this 25%, 30%. This will be more than 25, 30. Amazon. So these are all lottery shots. There are millions of the companies, and 2 3 are showed, oh, this one has increased, because everyone is going like, oh, this company will make money. And Elon Musk, a person who is like just smoking and is just lucky or cursed. He's lucky or cursed. And just because he's famous doesn't mean he's closer to God. All those things are worldly things, and I'm going to explain how to get over it. Okay. So the first thing is, understand the madness of the world, of the things which are happening. There is no value system right now. Things are sold to you. It started off with the airplanes. It started that there was a cost to the ticket of your fare from A to Z. And then they found out that if you are desperate, then you are going to be paying 10 times more. So if if it was in the COVID time, you would go to a flight, you want to take a flight within the next 1 hour. They know that you're desperate, so the price is going to be 5 times at least. And once I paid 10 times more, but the company was paying for it. And if you plan it out 2 weeks, then you are going to be paying at least 1/3, 1/4, at least. So the point is, the cost depends upon how much you are willing to, how much they have worked out the formulas on how much money can be extracted from you. So it's not the old value system, it's whatever you are willing to pay. The jeans or something, if you put up a Gucci stamp to it, etc., will be costing you 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times more for it. Digital art or this art or that art, etc., and people are just okay and are desperate. No, money is going down, and they said people are just spending money. But everyone who is spending money on something that rationally is stupid is actually very, very deeply depressed. And there is that euphoria that comes. I've spent money, and you have got something. And what a person really wants to be having is the clarity that we will have right now, that leads you to freedom. But everyone wants to get something and then feel happy. But everything that you get has got 3 negative points. It gets old. Whatever you bought maybe the latest Lamborghini, but after even 5 seconds, even when you have driven it out of the place, it has lost its value. It's now old. Someone is having a better Lamborghini or another car. And the third factor is, you are a schmuck. You bought into this advertising world that this car will make you happy. You wanted to be happy, you should have given that money instead, or you should have bought yourself a Corolla. And with the money that you have spent on Lamborghini, you should have given it to the people who are starving in India or something, and then you would be happy. But you spent it on yourself, and now you are a stupid fool, because you are thinking that these people in Dubai, when I was working over there, it was very like you had to buy a Ferrari, and there would be an attraction for very like out of shape person, etc. And he would step out of a Ferrari, etc. And he would have some sort of a, like, people would be attracted. But what sort of people were attracted? Those who just wanted not him but his money. So there is so much amount of disillusionment, because when you spend money and you think that it will get you something, and it gets you nothing. On the other hand, within the next 10 minutes, instead of getting something, you will have to give up something. Only in thoughts there. and then you will have the joy of abundance. So the first thing was the intent. Now it is the knowledge of the external world, how it is being ruled by everyone is desperate for happiness and is willing to do anything rational, irrational, including buying and spending all the money, getting money from different ways. And who buys most of these things? People who got the money from the. If you have really hard earned the money, you're going to be very careful of how you spend it. But if the government has just given you, or your parents given you, or something like that, you didn't earn it, then the chances are you might be very flippant about it. So that's. But the thing is, you do not expect to get joy out of spending money. That's the thing that most of the world is right now concerned with. We are spending money, we should be happy. So they go to Spain, etc. And what happens? Or whatever these places are where people think that if I go over there, Ibiza, etc. If you go over out there, there's a lot of drugs in the evening. If it was so much of a happiness place, why would there be so much drugs in the evening? Drugs are mini suicide. It means I do not accept the word as it is. I want to change, because that's where the psychedelic drugs work. I want to change my filter of the word. Yeah, of course, if you if you have, you don't really have to go anywhere. You can sit anywhere and have the drug, and you can imagine that you're in Ibiza. You don't have to go to Ibiza and drink yourself to death over out there, or have whatever tablet you want to be having. You can have it wherever you are, and imagine that you're. If one doesn't work, take two. But the point is, all this search of the external world that does not believe in a God ends up looking for happiness in the material world. In the material world, of course, since happiness is told to you, no, you don't buy clothes, you don't buy glasses, or you don't buy this, or you don't, you make a statement out of yourself. And then the marketing will, you know what, you have had a tough life and you have arrived. Now you can spend $500, or let's say $2,000 on these shoes because it is Labutini. Now you can. You have made it. You can indulge yourself, and that's it. Or it can even be a house. This house is not a house. It's not like four, it's not like address with four. This is a house which has got harmony. Look at the view. This is a statement. Your life is, and in all these really big houses, people are depressed because at the end of the day, you just need a bed and someone hopefully amiable to sleep with you. And if not, you end up, when you are sleeping, you are in a deep state. So all this happiness and looking for happiness, you have to see it as it is and know that God, till the time people are going to think God is here, God is there, this is there. Well, of course, there is no God which is in heaven, etc. Yeah, it's not going to work out like that. That has been, people used to think God is in heavens, but because we ended up going to the moon, and now we can, no, heavens is actually like man has conquered it. Mars is nothing. It's like if the whole of the universe was a football ground, we would be in the first inch. We would be like a golf ball. Our whole system would be like a golf ball in that huge arena of football. In that huge, so we just wouldn't be even be visible, and we think that, oh, we have reached Mars, so now. But all these things are being told that the external world has got a lot of things which are making you desperate to hear the next. So understand what is God. Understanding what is God. I'm going to be today showing to you something. So hopefully, so think of this dripping balloon. And when I press out of a hole, this water is dripping out, right? And if there were millions of holes, it would be sprouting. Now, all of us are not the water, not the balloon. We are the holes. And if we think that we are the holes, our body, through which this water of grace of God and divine life force, that water is flowing through us, If you think, oh, it's just time is going around, then that is the way it is. But everyone identifies with the whole, sees other wholes, and sees that through each and every one, that same life force of water, divine force, is flowing. But we don't identify with that. We see the other person just as a body, just as a whole. In space and time, all the holes are in different places, all the holes have got their different names, so we differentiate that hole has got this name, that hole has got this, I am this hole, etc., and you identify yourself with the whole. That is the body. What is flowing is absolutely different, has got nothing, has got no characteristic of the body. The water that is outside the balloon and inside the balloon is the same. It's going through us. To fully understand the picture, close your eyes and see that every person, every being with eyes on the planet has got the same life force flowing out through those eyes. And the same life force is coming from above and from the deepest part of you and flowing out, flowing out, flowing out. And you see yourself as an instrument of this flow, which is happening beyond time and space. Time and space are continuations of each other. That is what the sage Einstein told. And energy and mass are also the same. They are all connected. So you are this energy. You are not this mass of body and this and this. This body has got a life story to it. Yeah, but it's not your life story. This body has got a mind to it. You're not the mind. This body has got so many experiences which are placed in your head. But you are the life force. You are the water, the divine water flowing. You are not this whole in time and space. And so is everyone connected. We are all part of the same firmament, that same balloon. And divinity is flowing out from all the eyes, from your eyes. And as you see the divine in everything and everyone, through everything and everyone, the divine sees you. You become aware of the eyes of God, and you become aware of your own eyes. And through all the eyes, there's a constant flow beyond time and space of pure love. God is pure love. Love which is unconditional, not depend upon who, what, where of you. Pure love is flowing out from all the eyes that you have seen in the world, in this life and future life. All the eyes that have seen you are eyes of God. And everyone that you have seen and will see and are now seeing in the eyes of your heart, you see God. You see God in all your husbands and wives from past life, previous life. You see God. You see God in the eyes of all the neighbors and everyone who has played any role in your life. You see God. And through all eyes, no matter what the body is doing, maybe the body hit you, maybe the body loved you. Does not matter. Through all the eyes, you see the flow of the same godliness. And for lack of a better word, you dissolve all your thoughts in the vibration of Om. 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 Even though your body's eyes are closed, you get the super ability to see the eyes, because all the eyes of the world, those memories of all the eyes of the God, through the bodies of other people, looking at you and you looking at the eyes of other people. It's all exchange of love. And it's all happening at a level of your heart. Your heart's eyes are open, and you have the ability to see all the people as God in the past, in the present, and in the future. You get this divine, you bless yourself with the divine ability to see in the eyes of everything and everyone. The fathomless, the infinity of love behind the eyes of everyone that you have seen, will see, and are seeing in your heart right now. All these eyes of God are in your heart, and you are behind the eyes of everyone. You are in everyone's. The eyes lead to an infinity, and in that infinity you are there, and the infinity is vibrating with the energy of oh, total peace. Oh, total harmony. Oh, total bliss. Oh, blessing everyone for the exchange, for this divine dance of love. When through eyes you have exchanged sometimes hatred, sometimes love, sometimes emotion, sometimes judgment, sometimes this, sometimes that. Now go back into time and space, and all the exchanges that you have had, make them a pure exchange, which is a pure, coordinated and uncoordinated dance of exchange of pure love and respect. No matter what the person did, that's his or her body did with your body. It's important, but not so important. The main thing is that the other, through the other, God participated in your life. Sometimes the other person made you afraid, and sometimes the other person made you love, because we came to this planet for this dance of love, for these interactions. And even with digital connectivity across time and space, we can reach out to each other and exchange pure love and harmony via get the ability to not to live with your head. The head will always make you think of money. Live with your heart side, intuitively looking at everyone as a messenger of God's love. And you yourself see everything and everyone as a messenger of God's love. Behind the eyes of everyone, see the infinity of God's love and see yourself there. Oh. Oh. As you become aligned with the vibration of the divine Om, and you go beyond time, beyond space, and you see the whole infinity of God's creation of all the people, they are in your heart, and you are in the heart of everything and everyone. Become free of all your judgments of good and bad. Become fearless in loving and exchanging. Be practical. Do not let ever anyone make you feel smaller because they have something. You have the divine clarity of opening your heart. You have the grace of an open heart, which makes you, when your heart is totally open with Om and sending love, you are a zillionaire, trillionaire, and infinite times billionaire. You are endless, infinite love. All the people with money, they can count their money. They are poor people. Share with them your abundance of love flowing from your heart, so that all your comparisons in the mind, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough love, I don't have enough this, I don't have enough that, all those illusions are removed, and you live your life fearlessly, gracefully, unafraid, not comparing, no matter what happens, just spreading love from your heart. Every day at 9 o'clock, for a few minutes in front of any holy icon or picture of God, which motivates you the most, see in the deepest part of your heart God in the form that you love. Jesus, Mother Mary, Shiva, Vishnu, Krishna, Buddha, whichever form you like, have that form as a temple in your heart. With the heart which has a temple, with the holy form of God deep inside your heart. Whenever you have stress, just go to that form, deepest part of you, go to that temple in the center of the universe, open the doors and pray with Om for everyone, especially for the person who is causing you any hurt. Or supposing, I prayed a lot for the Chinese people because they bought all the houses in the area where I am. So not to have any judgment and not to save my own sanity, I started to pray from them, and then I started to see different things, that it's just people trying to make it on this planet. That's all. Oh, so be full of non-judgmental love. Even if the other person is your boss, has done something or this or that, let it all go. In their eyes, see God, love, divine godliness, which is inexplicable and cannot be defined by words. That same force flowing out from your eyes, that same force flowing from their eyes. It is inexplicable. No one can explain how a body works. How eye sees is one of the deepest mysteries of the universe. How I see and we fall in love, out of love, we trust the other person. It is one of the deepest mysteries because we see God. Oh. When you see body, then you will have judgment. Oh, this person has more, this person is old, this person is good, this person has bad. Because the body has got acts, and you, when you see the other person, you define yourself also as a body. But seeing yourself as love flowing out from the heart and from the eyes, and the other person, God's messenger, no judgments, just unconditionally spread love. Create that temple, and every day at 9 p.m., I'll be praying with you. Pray focusing on the temple in your heart, but if possible, have a temple, any corner of your house where you have any form of divine picture, light a candle so that your own stress and ignorance is cleaned up. Sit for a few minutes as long as you can. It doesn't have to be 9, it is any time, but make it a fixed time, fixed place, so that you start getting into the habit of praying for others. So that this clarity of participating in the cosmic dance of exchange of love through eyes, and seeing that everyone on the planet is God's eyes, and so are you. And your main mission is to spread love. If you make tons of money investing somewhere or not investing, how does it matter? It doesn't. But if you spend the rest of your life with your mission to spread love, then you will have self-realization as of this very second. Oh. 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 Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. We're all sending love and healing to Boris from our heart. Om Namah Shiva to Boris. He has small clots, so we'll be able to find a solution within the next 3 weeks. Om Namah Shiva. Sending love and support to Catherine on financial issues and family. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Sending love and support to Chi. Om Namah Shiva. Her operation will be okay. She will be home faster than that. Om Namah Shiva. Devi, so that her heart is open and trusting. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Gale, so that her anger at her son-in-law is dissolved. Om Namah Shiva. Hal and help. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Heather and relationship issues and legal issues. Or she will have the ability to manage them because it will take 3-4 months. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Ina and daughter's head. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Jean and grandchildren. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Om Jeanette and relationships. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Christina and family. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Lena and expectations of job. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Liz is getting tired being in the same place. Om Namah Shiva. She wants to travel. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Marina. Om Namah Shiva. Self-realization. Om Namah Shiva. Mila, the clarity regarding job offer. Om Namah Shiva. It will take 3 more days for the clarity to flow. Om Namah Shiva. Natasha, relationship and off and job. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. As we sent it to each participant, it's flowing through us even more stronger. because we are born for this. This is our mission to send blessings continually. Om Namah Shivaya. So we thank the other person for this chance to play in this dance of doing something with the knowledge of the eyes of God in everything and everyone, opening our own eyes, which is the eye of the heart, and this eye of the heart with the temple inside, letting us send love to Aksana. Om Namah Shiva. Her heart is fully open. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Very forgiving heart. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Preeti and her sisters. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. And relationship. Om Namah Shiva. Rita and her daughter and her choices. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Robin and health and relationships for the last 4 years. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Rose and health. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Sweta and balance and family harmony. Om, for the sake of the child. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Vera and family and daughter. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Ira and self-realization and daughter. Om Namah Shiva. 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 Preeti is asking whether we can see God in go for any traditional thing, because mountains, etc., will take out the focus. You have to see God in your favorite form. So let it be a form that is recognized. It's called the concept of the East Devta. So in whichever form you love God, that form, let that form of God, because these are forces. We are all different thoughts in the same head, but we are different thoughts. Think of it like that. So far I have been singing, yes, we are the same, but there are differences. That is, all the 5 fingers of the hand are different. And that's the beauty. And the thumb has to go against the fingers. That's the beauty, or we won't be able to pick up things. So we have got differences. So celebrate those differences. But go with the form of different than you form. Because these forces are real. There are thoughts in our head, for example, which have been reinforced so many times that they have their own reality. So people who are dying, it doesn't happen in Dubai that someone is having a near-death experience and that person will say, oh my God, you make a mistake. I'm a Christian and you have sent Krishna or you have sent Muhammad to help me, etc. That never happens. Never happens. A Christian is dying, he will meet angels. A Hindu is dying, he will meet. So God will be in whichever form, in the deepest part of you believe in. It's never happened that okay, your experience, you believe in Christ and say no Shiva, this naked the dark god, for Hindus, and it seems that you are racist also somewhere. You thought like Jesus was probably also Israeli, so Jewish in those parts was looking like an Indian, but still, oh, I want a white dude. No, nothing. So the point is, it doesn't happen. It's whatever form of God you love, respect, and be totally, hear it very carefully, to the part of God in front of which you can be totally exposed. When you go to God, you have to let go everything and everyone. So that form of God, which is an intimate part of you, it can be your lover, it can be your child, whatever form, that intimacy with the figure of God is needed. In the deepest part of your heart is love. What does heart want? Sex. But in a spiritual manner of becoming one with the infinity of love, so that your sense of smallness vanishes. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. Om Namah Shiva. All right, if you have any other questions, whatever form. But these forms of moon, etc., will not inspire you so much. Better make it then personify the god, because most of us do have sexual inclinations. Personify the god so that you are totally immersed in that form.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, I've been feeling like I've been being led in the direction of going into a healing ministry and also maybe psychological counseling. And I have this thought sometimes that if we're totally yielded and one with God, and everybody would want to go into healing and the ministry, and then nobody would work. I mean, everybody would just be healing everybody else. So I can't somehow, redeem the idea that healing and a spiritual ministry is the best thing that everybody would want.
No, no, you are mistaken. Most of the people, they decide on healing, etc., out of a feeling of their own insecurity. So only one, I meet with a lot of people who are healing others and they themselves are completely lost, because it doesn't take much to be working with this. The thing is, what made you go into that? So most of the people would like to have this call. But nowadays, uh, anyone can learn these techniques of healing, and anyone can learn these pop psychology books and become a psychiatrist, etc. It's not like you have to do an MD. So you want to help others. But if you make it a formal thing, I go to an office. I used to have for 2 years, I had a healing place, and then I closed it because I see the dependencies that start growing up. You start becoming very egoistical. Oh, I have healed and I have 20 people, and then to pay off the rent, you need 20, 30 people. So you're always going to be thinking about, after opening that healing place or becoming a part of it, it starts to become monetized, and it becomes a business of selling enlightenment more 99% of the times. So it's a very rare thing for those healing places to be pure. Most of them are semi reiki and energy and all those things combined together. They're interesting, but your real challenge is to live your ordinary life in an extraordinary way. Most of the people who go out and become healers, they become fixated on collecting that $20 from every person after a session, or $200, and that sort of demeans and defies their self-realization. So first of all, you have to, before you start healing others, you have to become totally grounded in yourself. And then you don't have to open a healing center and go out there. I will teach you everything that you want to learn about healing, and this via distance. I'll give you a couple of classes, or you can take a look at the previous ones. I'll walk through you. I'll make you into a healer. But finding someone who will trust you with their healing is very difficult. So you need a place that will be advertising and saying, oh, come to us, we will heal you. Really? Really? It will be full of people like you, and they will all be playing. So when someone comes, people will look important, and they will pretend that they don't have any sexual thoughts, etc. And I am so glad that I closed that place, because when so many people are looking at you as if you are above sex, then 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 100 or 1 in 10, there will be some sort of a sexual interference. That's the way human life is. You start to fight against these things, and then you always lose out, and then it comes out as a scandal. Me too, you too, she too, etc. Those are most of the time, when I read a story, there was this place, there is this actor, Gerard Depardieu, was someone just said he raped me 2 years ago. Half the people are willing to do anything for these people to pay them attention, even when they're old and dying. So healing places are sort of grounds for that sort of admiration and all those sorts of things happening, etc. I have witnessed, I have participated. I'm very, very bad when I get the temptation. Look at me, even I can be attractive overall, because everyone sees energy in this and that, etc. So try to live your life ordinary life in an extraordinary way. Acknowledge you are a you are the like American or North American dude with so many privileges, etc. Just work and give part of your money to like pretty sponsors, 2 or 3 people in Africa and in Nepal and all that. So with your money, do something which will give you a sense of self-realization instead of working with this energy people and healing people. And most of the time, people, when the moment someone says, I am healing, they lose it. Till the time you're saying, yes, the healing is flowing through me, you can be participant of it. And that's why at the end of the session, we make it especially that everyone sends love to you, because that's the healing. And when your heart is open, it's good that you want to be a healer, but who would like to be healed by you when you are having so many personal, your own issues? So become so balanced that you become a guru, and you will get 2 or 3 people. I know of a lady who declares on the Facebook that with she has the magic of DNA regeneration, so you never get old. And I don't know how old she is, but she looks like an old witch, and she has got more than 40,000 followers who believe in this. That if you close eyes and do some exercise, then your DNA would be regenerated and you would be forever young. She would have been getting Nobel Prizes for that. But the thing is, people want to believe these things so much that they start to go for it. And whatever you believe in will work for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, but not for 11 seconds. No matter. So instead of this healing and doing for, I'll make you into a healer, etc. But it's so difficult to find someone who trusts you. That's why at the end of the session, you can, but I'll make you into this if you really want to go for that, etc. You don't have to spend anything. You just have to be declaring, I am a healer. You don't have to say that I trained you or something. You're part of the group. You can take it, look into it. I'll give you the initiation via digital. It's just focusing over out here, drawing the symbol of God in any way, and then I'll ensure that energy flows through you, your hand, your heart opens. You focus on the symbols of energy, so that your consciousness becomes that energy. Whatever you focus on becomes that. Then your heart opens up with the prayers. It starts to flow out first from your hands, etc. And then you can spread it, you can heal others. But finding someone who will trust you with that is difficult. So first, if you just want to become a healer, etc., I'll help you. That's not an issue. But getting someone, that's up to you. Getting people who will trust you with that, that's up to you. Okay? So
Okay,
our way
I'll
is just
say
to pray.
yes. I'll say yes to that.
Okay, okay. So I'll send you this contact me by email, and I'll send you a couple of links. First, take a look at the past lessons, and then there are around 10 of them, 10 1-hour classes, basically YouTube. And then I'll give you at some point, I'll have a Zoom session with you or anyone who wants and give you an energy initiation. Okay. So just keep in touch. Okay. And if you need my number, then it's on the WhatsApp group, but it's 416-432-8195. 416-432-8195. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. And the key to healing, the one which has got no side effects, is to open your heart and let the flow of the meditation or the prayer, it can be any prayer. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on heaven as in earth. On this day, give us our daily bread. And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those that trespass against us. Lead us from temptation. Deliver us from evil. Thine is the power, the glory, the kingdom. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Healing is blessing everything and everyone with their permission. When you walk into healing territory, you are saying to the other person, thank you for letting me be your healer. And then you pray on their behalf. And instead of you acknowledge the healing energy invoked by the prayer to flow through you to the other person as an act of grace. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah. And in the act of healing, heal yourself of all your desires. All desires are rooted in a feeling that I am insufficient, I'm inadequate, I'm small. Aligning with the prayer, you become the force behind the eyes. Infinite. Infinity doesn't need a new car. Infinity doesn't need a respect from the eye in the eyes of the neighbor. Infinity doesn't need any sex. Infinity doesn't need anything from the world except the dance of sharing love via prayer. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Good. Thank you. Next class. Oh, tomorrow we have a class at 7 p.m. So we will extend this class tomorrow then. Om Namah Shivaya. Tomorrow 7 p.m. It will be half in English, half in Russian.